Yeah, Brits watching the film might ask themselves why you don't come to the UK with this film. I was wondering whether you felt now, under the current government, was not the right time to hold up the UK as a great example.
It was a conscious and purposeful decision to not come to the UK, with all due respect.
And why?
We wanted to go to countries where we thought we could learn something. And we didn't, and I mean this with respect, we didn't feel that there was anything left to learn here. And that you had given up on yourselves to such a degree. The fact that you would want to put your 18 to 22-year-olds into debt simply because they want to go to university, that you would start charging like this, like you have, that's just one example, but why would you do this? Plus, I think, and they can answer for themselves, but I think for us, the filmmakers, you may be over Tony Blair, I don't know, we're not. And I'll tell you why, because we expected George W. Bush to start that war. That wasn't a surprise. Nobody was surprised that Bush did that. He was able to do it because you, the Brits, under Tony Blair, gave him the cover. You made it possible for him to say, hey, it's not just me. We got Tony Blair here. And in the US, he had the New York Times, he had liberal media. You know, he was able to get liberals to act as the cover for what he was going to do. And honestly, if Blair hadn't supported that war and the so-called liberal media that got behind it at first, I don't know if he could have pulled it off. I don't know if he could have pulled it off. So I think that we're not quite over the damage that this country has done to us and to the world by so-called liberals here voting and then re-voting for an individual who was anything but a liberal. So to come here and say, hey, let's go to the UK and see what we Americans can learn from them. It's like, no, this is a toxic place. This is a place that wants to put young adults in debt. This is a place that wants to create a two-tier medical system. This is a place that has now elected this conservative government and now wants to leave the European Union. What's going, you know, it's like we're so, but because we're like, you know, we're Americans, so we're kind-hearted, you know, and we love Britain and we love the British accent and we love Downton Abbey and, you know, we love all this stuff. So we're like, well, there's got to be something good, right? And we found something that we liked about England. There apparently, your education system here a number of years ago, people started to get worried that your kids were starting to look like our kids, like as in overweight and not eating the right food. So now I think, 12 and 13-year-olds have to take cooking class in school. They've made this a big push in British, or at least English schools. And we thought, well, that's a good idea, but not enough to spend the money to come here. So I hope I'm not sounding offensive by saying this. I just, it's a plea for you to be Britain.
But one final question.
What we know of what the greatness that you've done and the good ideas that you've come up with, and that.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey You Guys!